Good morning, everyone. My name is Robert Ballard from the National Weather Service and Central Pacific Hurricane Center here in Honolulu with the 5 a.m. Advisory for Hurricane Douglas. The most important thing to note is the main Hawaiian Islands have dodged yet another bullet from a hurricane landfall, which we are thankful for today. As of 5 o'clock this morning, Hurricane Douglas was located about 90 miles to the northwest of Lihue and about 380 miles to the east-southeast of French Frigate Shoals out over the northwest Hawaiian Islands. Still moving toward the west-northwest, which we're happy to see, away from the islands on its merry way at about 17 miles per hour. The maximum sustained winds in Douglas are still about the same as they've been, 90 miles per hour as it tracks away from the islands, which just goes to show you that not every hurricane that comes into the local Hawaiian waters is going to be weakening. There are no watches and warnings, I'm happy to say, for the main Hawaiian Islands. Those have all been discontinued as of 2 o'clock this morning. There are still tropical storm warnings and hurricane watches and hurricane warnings for portions of the Papahanao-Mokuakea National Monument up to the northwest of the main Hawaiian Islands. Those are contained within the public advisory, and I will not summarize all of those here. You're welcome to check those out. We do expect Douglas will continue to move away from the islands for the next couple of days with a slight turn toward the west, which will take it close to portions of the northwest Hawaiian Islands. We do expect some weakening with Douglas as it moves away. And as far as local hazards, we should see local surf and the heavy rain threat diminish over the main Hawaiian Islands. We still could see local accumulations on Kauai of 3 to 6 inches, especially if one of those trailing rain bands gets set up over Kauai today. There is possibility for some heavy rain, and that could result in flash flooding. So we urge folks to keep aware of that hazard as Douglas moves away, but the threat for that should be diminishing with time. I think that's about all I have from the 5 a.m. advisory, and also a note that this is the last scheduled press conference for Hurricane Douglas. We will continue to track it here at the Central Pacific Hurricane Center as long as it's out there. But as far as local impact press conferences, this should be about it. Are there any questions from the audience this morning?
Bob, this morning I'm checking the chat window with nothing. I'm on the ops account. I checked. There's no questions that have come in from there. I'll just give them a second. There's a couple of folks out there listening in case they have any follow-up questions. Go ahead, Bob.
I will note that we are still available for interviews this morning if anyone wishes to discuss Douglas. You're welcome to get in touch with me or give the office a call, and we'll schedule an interview with you. Okay, well, if there are no questions,
I see none in the window, Bob.
All right, very well. Then we will end this press conference. Once again, thankful that we did not get a direct hit from Hurricane Douglas. Does look like based on radar, and we'll take a look at recon data today, but it looks like the worst of the conditions skirted us about 20 to 40 miles offshore, off to the northeast. And again, I'm going to take a look at that this morning, and we'll check that out to see just how close it was. I do want to remind everyone that it is hurricane season. In fact, we haven't even reached the peak of hurricane season yet, so we want everyone to remain prepared. Probably not the best idea to go returning all of that hurricane supplies that you may have purchased. Just keep those on hand through the rest of the time until we get to the end of hurricane season. But of course, you always should have a disaster supply kit. Okay, I think that's it. I will sign off.